Good morning, everyone. This is episode 273. This morning, I'm Barry Fair and Matt Brown with you today on the show. And what a show we've got coming up for you today. We're going to be putting on the conference very soon. But before we go to that, just recapping Friday's show where we talked about phone manners and things like that. And joining me now in the studio for episode 273, it's a very good morning to Matt Brown.
Good morning, Barry. Glad to be back in the studio with you, my friend, on this cold and wet Tuesday.
So, just to open episode 273, we're going to be talking about the importance of phone manners and writing polite emails. Firstly, phone manners. They must be professional. They must be polite. They must be friendly. And here's Matt now to open episode 273 with that.
Thanks, Barry. Yes, very true. You know, as we discussed, it's always important to be in the right frame of mind before you pick up the phone. So if you're going to be angry before you pick up the phone, that's not a good way to start a conversation. So I definitely always try to think about what I need to say, Barry, before I ring up. Because I know the person on the other end of the phone is going to be more receptive to me.
And I have your questions ready to ask the person on the phone too. The person may say, how may I, excuse me, the person will ask, how may I help you with your inquiry today? Here's Matt now for this.
Exactly right, Barry. So a good way is to start by introducing yourself and asking your question in a cool, calm, and collective manner. Because this is the quickest and easiest way to get your answer from the other person, Barry.
Okay, and to end the phone conversation, okay, you must say thank you very much for your help. Uh, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Um, and to say thank you very much. Have a good day or good night or good morning. Here's Matt now for this.
Yes, because that usually the other end of the phone, that particular person wouldn't have had too many probably nice calls. So always remember to be your best and don't lower yourself to anyone else's standards by getting angry and treating another human being in a disrespectful way.
Because where does disrespect get you? Absolutely nowhere. Here's Matt now for this.
Exactly right. If you go into that conversation yelling and screaming, ranting and raving, and etc., that's all negative, and don't expect the other person to actually try and help you because you should be speaking to them with respect because they're trying to help you and they don't deserve that.
And it's the same if you're ringing 0002. Don't abuse the call taken there. Here's my operator.
So there's an old little saying that I remember, Barry, and that's don't shoot the messenger. Those people are there to actually help. So they're there to help you. They're not there to cop flack and negativity and abuse. So please respect our 000 operators. They're there to help people whose lives are in danger.
Like mine, so before you make the phone call and dial the number, okay, Have your questions ready. Here's Matt now for this.
Yes, being prepared, Barry, is very important because the operators on the other end of the phone, that every situation is time sensitive. So if you have all your questions ready, if you've written them down or got them in your head, you can get the response quicker. So all in all, it helps the other person on the other end of the phone, being the operator, and it also helps you get your answers you're after.
So don't just threaten someone on the phone, guys. That is not nice. Here's Matt now.
Yep, just remember that respect, it's another human being on the other end of the phone. They could be having a bad day, but don't let your bad day and take it in on someone else.
So if you're in a rotten mood, guys, take your bad attitude somewhere else. Here's my outsider.
Exactly right. Maybe call back another time if it's not an emergency. If it's just your customer service or something along those lines, don't call that person up because you're not going to get the answer that you're looking for if you're going to treat someone that way.
Because disrespect, ladies and gentlemen, you're not only letting yourself down, but the person on the phone. Here's my outsider.
Exactly right. There's nothing good for either person, Barry, there.
So today, now we're going to talk about emailing people the right way. Emailing people the right way. Okay, write polite things in the email. Don't swear it. Don't swear. Here's my outsider.
That's right. Like people, as they'll call them, the keyboard warrior, the ones that just sit there behind a keyboard and hammer away thinking they know everything on the keyboard. That's not the right way to go about it. You need to write an email. Take your time, especially if you're angry. Don't send it. Send it 24 hours later. There's no rush. You'll get a better response from the person that you're sending it to if you have a nice, clear, informative email.
Okay, and always have the right email address, the right person, and put who it's from. Here's Matt now.
That's right, Barry. That's perfect. I can't elaborate on that one. That's good.
So don't just use offensive language, guys. That is not the way to go. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, always be polite and look forward to the response from the person that you're emailing because that way I'm sure they're more than happy to help you.
But if the email is rude, guys, you won't get a response. Here's my outsider.
Exactly right. Rude emails, you don't really expect a response. All it's going to do is fire you up even more because you haven't had a response and then write another nasty email back. So it's going nowhere. It's futile.
And like, say if I got a nasty email, I would probably put something in there saying it's not a very nice email. Okay, I have done my best to help you, and this is the response I'm getting. Here's Matt now.
That's really good, Barry. That's perfect for our viewers to take example of how you've dealt with that. Perfect.
So don't just write nasty emails, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it all. Don't send it for 24 hours until you've calmed down. Here's my outsider.
Here, Barry. Well said.
Well, it's coming up to conference time at 11 o'clock, and before we go out to the break, the cassette. So if you haven't got a copy of that yet, get it on eBay now. Here's Matt now.
Yes, that's an oldie, one of Barry's favourites, which is Young Talent Time. So I would say, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have a cassette player, but for the older generation, I'm sure you probably do. And this is one that one of Barry's favourites. Barry's been educating me who Young Talent Time is.
But we are not talking about the show today. We are talking about phone manners and emails and stuff
Okay,
like that.
nice.
So before we do go to the break, if you write a nasty email, you will not get a response back. Here's my option now for this.
Exactly right. You're going to keep going on badgering someone and having a go at someone with your nasty email. I wouldn't expect a nice email to come back. That's for sure, Barry.
And you can be banned from emailing that person too. Here's my option.
Now that would be good for some people, Barry, to ban them, because some people are always angry, and that unfortunately that would be a bad place to be.
So don't just verbally abuse someone because you're having a shonky day, and don't say it's their fault when it's not. Here's Matt now.
That's right. You're having a bad day. Please don't take it out on another human being. Think before you do any actions, because they have consequences.
And like we said on Friday, okay, if you're having a bad day, okay, just have a cup of tea, settle down, okay, and maybe ask the person, why do you want to write this email for? Here's my offer.
That's it. If you're displeased, angry, or with that particular person or thing or product, or don't write that email in anger. Give it some time. Reread what you've written, and I'm pretty sure that if you have a nice email that's well worded and it's polite, you'll get a much better result and better actions.
Well, the time is coming up to conference time at 11 o'clock, so we will take a break and then come back with more of episode 273. You are watching episode 273, and we will have more after the conference and tea break. I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for joining us today. Here's Matt to take us out to the break.
Looking forward to seeing our viewers after the break with our topics that we're going to be running past again. So until then, guys, stay safe, stay well, and
we'll see you after the break with part 2. Well, good morning again, everybody. Welcome back to episode 273. This is Barry Fair here and Matt Brown. And today we've been talking about phone manners again and writing nice emails and how to write nice emails and how not to write emails. Joining me again in the studio Here he is, Matt Brown. Good morning to you.
Morning, Barry. Looking forward to round two.
Or part two.
Part two.
So part two today, we're going to talk about how not to email a person or speak to them on the phone. Firstly, how not to email a person. Do not, and we repeat, do not write threatening words in your email if you are angry. Here's Matt now to open the second part of the show with that.
Exactly right, Barry. As we've talked about in part one, we need to always be the better person and to write in a nice, cool, calm, and collective manner without using any abusive words or anything that may make someone feel like they are to belittle them. And we definitely don't want anyone to do that. So think about what you write. Don't rush to write and send your email off. Take time to cool down and to think level-headed.
Okay, because if you're angry and frustrated, okay, here are a few tips that Matt and I would like to give you. Okay, step away from your computer. Go outside and go for a walk. Take a Walkman with you. Here's Matt now.
Perfect, Barry. It is true. Get away from your computer, on phones or whatever your device is. Go outside, get a bit of fresh air, go for a walk, go for a jog, do some exercise, blow off some steam. That's what we're saying. Blow off some steam so that when you come back to your home and sit down to write that email, you're going to have a clear head.
Because, say for example, if you've got a lot on your plate, ladies and gentlemen, like you may have a lot of negativity in there that's causing you to feel like this. So, please, think about your words and sentences and how you approach the person in the email. Here's Matt now for this.
Exactly right, Barry. Think about what you need to write. Think, think, think. Because what I was always taught is put the shoe on the other foot. So for those who don't know, that one is put yourself in the other person's situation. How would you feel if you received that threatening email or angry email? Not nice, Barry.
So, if I was to receive a nasty email, I'd probably report this to my manager. Here's Matt now for this.
That's probably the best way to get around that, Barry. Yes, report it to your house manager, and they will take care of if anything needs to be done any further. Or I definitely would not respond to that person. That's one thing for sure, Larry.
And I will take that person's name off my email list.
That's a good time to block them, Barry. That's exactly right. That's what that's for, is to block, and that'd be a perfect time to use Block Sender.
Because sending a rude email, ladies and gentlemen out there, you're not going to get a nice response. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry. If you write something nasty, rude, or crude, don't expect me or Barry to reply.
And what would you do if you received a nasty email, Matt?
Barry, I have in the past received these so-called nasty emails, and I just let them go, Barry. It can make you feel wound up for a bit when you read some of these emails, but at the end of the day, I know they're not true, Barry, so I don't give them any more time than that.
So, think about what words you have put in there and why you wrote the nasty email in the first place. Here's my answer.
Yes, one thing, unfortunately, Barry, there's some people out in the world that are angry and mad, and sometimes you get people who are having a bad day too. So all we can do is do our best, Barry, not to lower ourselves to those standards.
Because if you wind yourself up like and then bang, here's Matt now for this.
Exactly right, Barry. It's the old way it's going to go. You're going to pop, and unfortunately, all that stress always ends up on someone that you care about, Barry. So we definitely don't advise that.
So writing a nasty email, don't do that. Okay? If you've got a problem with a person, approach them in the right way to say, hey, look, I don't like what was being said. Let's talk about it and resolve the problem in an adult-like way. Here's Matt now.
I can't elaborate on that any further, Barry. That was very well said, mate.
So, sorting out the problem after you've received the nasty email, the person may approach you and say, well, look, it's not my fault. It is what it is. Here's Matt now.
That would be a great response if someone could admit that they've made a mistake, Barry, because we all deserve forgiveness. We all make mistakes as human beings. And depending on the situation, that's up to the responsible recipients to take further action.
If the problem continues and you receive further threatening emails, guys, you can always ring the police. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry. Ring the police. They have a cyber security team, and they'll direct your request to the appropriate department. So you don't have to do this alone. There is help.
Because you do not deserve to be threatened by anybody. Here's Matt now.
Exactly right, Barry. No threats deserved to you if you've done nothing wrong. So to report this to either if it's in-house, a management staff, a boss, or if it's someone you don't know, there is help out there for you guys. So don't feel alone.
So don't go it alone, guys. Get help out there if you've been threatened by emails or verbally by someone who's had a shonky day. Here's Matt now.
Exactly right, Barry. That's true. I can't add to that any more than that, my friend.
So today we've been talking about phone manners and just going over that again. Okay, be polite on the phone and don't go wham with the phone if you've had a shonky phone call. Here's my offside.
Exactly right, guys. Just be cool and calm, and I'm sure your questions or question will be addressed in the appropriate manner.
And the show is far from over because the next subject on police is coming up right now. Police in the Bankstown area were bashed yesterday by a man who was arrested. Now bashing a police woman going about their daily businesses. We think it's absolutely disgusting. Here's Matt now.
Yes, Barry, I did see this particular footage, which was very disturbing. And also, what I did read or have a look at was that the gentleman is known to police, but I believe he has mental health issues there, Barry. So I think that he wasn't all right in the head. Doesn't condone what he's done, but yes, hurting a police officer, whether it be male or female, is not tolerated on the show.
And what we would like to elaborate on the show is the police are out there to do their job. The same with the ambulance people. Here's my offside.
Exactly right, Barry. It's a tough job, and often they get very little thanks. The situations that they have a split second to make their mind over. So, yes, please respect the authorities out there, and if you're not respecting them, well, expect to be locked up and put in jail.
And it's the same when the television cameras are out there too. Don't go and knock a television cameraman unconscious. Here's my offside.
Yeah, Barry. No violence whatsoever. That's my answer for that. Please, no violence.
So the camera people are only out there to get the pictures for them to take back to Channel 10 or Channel 9 or Channel 7 or the ABC. Here's Matt now.
That's it. They're doing a job just like everyone else does their job, and we deserve to work in safety, Barry.
So please respect emergency service workers. Please. They are out there to save the lives of myself and Matt here. Here he is.
It's a tough job. It'd be nice if people could respect those hard-working individuals who are out there to protect the citizens rather than being abused either verbally or physically.
Because there is absolutely no call, ladies and gentlemen, to be absolutely violent towards emergency service workers, whether they are a police officer, an ambulance officer, or a fire warden. Here's my offsider.
Exactly right, Barry. Unfortunately, those people turn up at these situations where a lot of them are life-threatening, and the last thing they're expecting is to have some Fruit Loop being angry. They're actually going there to help the person, so it'd be nice if someone could also help them by being a nice human being.
Now we're going to go back on how not to treat a triple O call taker. When you are making a triple O call to the ambulance, police, or fire, treat the other person on the phone with respect because they are trying to get the appropriate help for us. Here's my offside.
Exactly right, Barry. Exactly right. They're there to help, guys. Just remember that. They're there helping you. So show some respect.
And when you are on the phone getting an ambulance, guys, please don't panic. Stay calm. Stay stay relaxed, and be polite to the call taker. Here's Matt now.
That's exactly right. If you can stay calm in a tough situation, that makes it easier and quicker for those particular staff to get to your help.
And we will take a Welcome back. To close our show today, we're just going to go over the phone manners again and email. Well, firstly, the phone manners, they must be polite, professional, and, and friendly. Here's Matt now to take up the rest of the story.
That's it, Barry. It's an important topic that we've been on the last day or two in regards to how one should conduct an email or a telephone call, and how being cool, calm, and collective, being professional, and treating the other person the way that you would like to be treated.
And like we said, if you are rude to someone on the phone, they will just go, here's Matt now.
Exactly right, Barry. That's why should someone be on the other end of an email or a phone call and expect to be abused by someone who's not treating them right?
And don't leave rude messages on their answering machines. Here's my offside.
Yes, leaving an angry message on a voicemail is fairly gutless too, because you know that you've already hung up, and those people are not going to call you back, and all you've done is made someone on the other end upset. And that's not fair.
Because you let them down like a tire, like letting the air. It's like going, like undoing the valve on the person's tire and then letting it go. Here's Matt now.
That's exactly right, Barry. You don't want that to happen. Deflate someone who's on the other end of the receiving of the message or the phone call. That's not very nice for that person to cop whack.
It really is not. So, as we leave you today on the show, please remember what we have discussed on the show. Okay, and please just remember, if you receive an nasty email, don't reply to it, discard it, and forget about it. Here's my offside.
That's exactly right. Well put, Barry. That's it. Can't add to that. Well said.
So now here's the closing sequence. Our closing sequence today is about healthy tuna or salmon rolls. Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna have some for lunch today. What you do is spread your tuna on the roll, right? Okay, voila, you've got yourself nice tuna and tahini rolls.
Ooh, yum.
I had that yesterday. Beautiful. And also to close the show today is a lovely chicken salad. Dice up some chicken with some leafy greens. Okay, what a beautiful, healthy salad it is. Here's Matt to tell you about it.
Oh, Barry, I'm getting hungry now with all these beautiful things you're telling me. That's it. Chicken salad is coming into summer. I think we'll have to bring this up on one of our upcoming future episodes, Barry, is get the old summer recipe book happening. But for today's lunch, what are we going to have? Salmon or tuna today, Barry? What are you feeling?
Salmon today.
Salmon. So Barry's going to have a nice toasted golden brown roll. So it'll be nice and crispy. And we're going to get the salmon on top. Yum.
With the lemon juice.
Lemon juice. And that's pretty nice and simple, guys. How clean and healthy is that?
And I did see some unhealthy options there from a few people, but it's up to them really.
Exactly right, Barry.
So if they don't want to eat clean, healthy food, can we force them? No. And as the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. Here's Matt now for that quote.
That's exactly right, Barry. You know, you can educate people and let them know what's best for them, but at the end of the day, it's their choice. And one thing that Barry always does is he makes these choices for himself, and he knows the pros and cons, and he prefers to eat nice and healthy, Barry.
So we've certainly had a lot of fun bringing the show to you today. And just before we go, Young Valentine then, now and then, the 15th anniversary album. Okay, if you haven't got it, get on your eBay now and get it delivered to you. If you've got a Walkman, play it and reminisce. Here's Matt now.
I can't elaborate on that one, Barry, but it sounds fun, guys. If you've got an old tape player, whack it on and listen to some old cassettes.
So, here now is the final sequence. Well, we've had a lot of fun bringing the show to you this morning. Sorry, we've had a few glitches on the show, but just before we do go, if you've got any topics you'd like us to cover on the show, please do leave us a comment down below. We'd like to hear from you about what you'd like us to cover on the show, and with summer not too far off, we'll be talking about what appropriate sun cream to use, what beach equipment to have, how to stay, excuse me, how to stay safe on the water, you name it. You name it, it's all there. So if you've got any comments or suggestions, please do tell us about it. Here's Matt now.
That's right. Barry and I love discussing important topics. So if you've got anything in there, guys, drop them in the comments, and we'd love to talk about them on our show with you.
So as we leave you today, the number we rely on 24 hours a day, 3 donuts, 000. Please do not ring that number unless you've got a critical emergency, guys. And here is Matt now with his closing sequence on this.
Exactly, that 000, guys, that number's out there not for people to do crank phone calls. It's a serious, legitimate service that could end saving people's life. And we genuinely hope, Barry and I, that none of our viewers will ever have to ring 000. So please keep those lines free and let them do their awesome job.
And please don't punch emergency service workers or hinder them. Let them do their job. It's the same with the rescue helicopters, pilot, you name it. They have an important task, and they don't need nincompoops like that hindering them. Here's Matt now to take us out with that message.
Exactly right. Exactly what Barry said. Hear. Listen to Barry the man.
So if you haven't got a reason for hindering emergency service workers, please do not hinder them. It is not called for, because if someone was in here, for example, like the ambulance, they don't need nincompoops interfering with the job. Here's Matt also now to take us out with that message.
That's right. guys, please, remember to respect the other people on the other end of the line. They do an important job. And for those nincompoops out there, keep away from that 000 number. It's not a game. It's a serious number that could save someone's life that you actually love in the future.
So we've had a lot of fun today bringing all those important topics up, and tomorrow we'll be talking about safety on the water and on the beach and safe travel too. This is going to be on episode 274 at 9:30 tomorrow morning. So we do hope that you will join us for that. But in the meantime, guys, you have an awesome afternoon. You take care, and we will see you here in the studio at 9:30 tomorrow morning. We do look forward to your company then. But for now, that's all we've got time for, and as Tony Barbie used to say, I'm not going to say it this time. I'm just going to say, I'm Barry Fear. Thanks for your company today, and we will catch you next time around on the Daily Raps. Here's Matt now to say his farewell now.
Thanks again for having me in the studio, Barry. Always a pleasure to be here by your side and talk about some awesome topics. I look forward to being back in the studio tomorrow where we continue our great live session for our viewers.
And we're off now to have a coffee lunch now. So let's go and devour that, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. You've been watching episode 273, episode 274 coming up tomorrow, where we'll be talking about more great stuff. We look forward to your company then, but for now, it's a very good afternoon. Take care, everyone. Have a great Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, and look after each other. We are all in this together. But for now, from Matt Brown and myself, the time is just after 12:30. Take care of yourself. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for your company. Thanks for watching episode 273. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye bye.